So guys, let's look at how producer surplus is changing when we changing the price of the product. So let's suppose that we have supply curve for a certain product. We know supply curve is an upward sloping line. Initially price was price 1 on our market. I'm going to indicate over here. This is quantity supply 1, and then something happened and price increased to level P2. So when price increased to level P2, this is going to be our quantity supply 2. So, and what I'm going to do over here, I'm going to extend this line, over here, and then I'm going to indicate the areas. We're going to have area A, area B, and area C. So what we want to know at different price level, what is our producer surplus. So at price equal to price 1, our producer surplus is equal to what area? So remember, producer surplus, this is everything that is below the price, and everything that is above the supply curve. So since we're looking at price 1 level, so producer surplus is going to be everything that is below this price. Do you see where the price met with the supply curve? Okay, now I'm going to go along the supply curve, and I'm going to close my triangle along the price line. So everything that is below the price and above the supply curve. So therefore, at price level P1, producer surplus is going to be equal to area C. Now, if price is increasing to P2 level, then what is our producer surplus? Producer surplus is going to change, isn't it? Because now we have a new price on the market. So remember, again, producer surplus, this is everything that is below the price and above the supply curve. So P2, this is the ongoing price level right now. Okay, so therefore, producer surplus is going to be everything that is below this price. And do you see again where this price met here with the supply curve? And then everything that is above this supply curve, everything that is over here. And again, we're going to close this triangle kind of along this price line. So this is our price, everything that is below that, everything that is above this line, and we're closing our triangle. So what is the area of producer surplus after we increase the price? It's going to be A plus B and plus C. So if you're going to look at this, that we make a conclusion that producer surplus has increased when price of the product is increasing, and we need to pay attention to these two areas, area A and area B. So producer surplus increased by area A and area B. Again, we will try to explain why we gain this producer surplus in area A and why we gain this producer surplus in area B. So let's look at area A first. So guys, remember, at the price 1 level, how many sellers did we have on the market? We had this many sellers on the market. Remember, we kind of assume in this analysis that each seller sell only one unit. So let's suppose we had 100 sellers on the market. Once again, you need to ask a question: why these sellers were willing to sell? Why these sellers were willing to say? Remember, we're going to connect it to their cost of production. Let's suppose the price of this product, for example, was $10. So these 100 sellers, they were willing to sell because their cost of production was lower than $10. So for each one of these sellers, each one of them had different cost of production. So, and therefore, just think about it. So if my cost production, let's suppose this is going to be some kind of $2. Okay, now this price line, remember, it's indicate also seller's cost of production. If seller's cost of production is $2 and I am selling this product at $10, what is going to be my producer surplus? Is going to be $8, isn't it? And just think about it. I am going to be within this, this is some kind of quantity X, for example. I'm going to be, this is within this 100 sellers to sell this product. Another seller have some kind of other cost. Let's suppose this is $4. Okay, so this seller is selling the product because his cost of production is lower than ongoing price. And this is going to happen for these 100 sellers. So I'm trying to point to this area A. Just think about all these 100 sellers were on the market before. What is going to happen with the sellers when the price of the product increased? Are they still going to stay on the market? And the answer is yes. And these sellers actually going to be way better off because now they still have the same cost of production, but they're selling this product actually right now at $15 a unit. So each one of these seller that sold this like 1 unit each, they going to gain consumer surplus. Exactly by how much? Each one of them is going to have $5 more. You see what I'm saying? So just think about, this is the number of sellers that we have on the market. This is the number of sellers that we have on the market. Okay, before when the price was P1 level, and now when the price is P2 level, and we increase the price by this much. So just think about, we have one line, line A, multiplied by the other line, line B. What are we going to have? We're going to have the area of this kind of square in the middle. So therefore, this is going to be the increase in producer surplus due to those sellers that were on the market before. Now they're receiving a higher price. Just think about, if I was that seller whose cost of production was initially $2, and initially I was receiving $10. Remember, I'm going to write it over here. My consumer surplus just for one seller was $10. Remember, this is price minus the cost. This is, I'm sorry, not consumer, but producer surplus. So this is price minus the cost. So the price was $10. My cost was actually $2. My producer surplus was $8. Now, after we increase the price, I'm still going to stay on the market. I'm within these 100 sellers. I'm staying on the market. Now I'm going to be better off. So now the price of the product is 15. My cost of production still stay 2. What is going to be my producer surplus? All of a sudden, my producer surplus is actually $13. You see, I'm better off. And it's going to happen for each of this seller that within this 100 initial sellers that were on the market. So we're going to get this area A. If you take A multiplied by B, we're going to get this area A. So therefore, okay, A is increase in producer surplus due to initial sellers that were on the market, initial sellers receiving a higher price. Okay, so area A, once again, increase in producer surplus due to these initial sellers that were on the market. Now they're receiving this higher price. Okay, next, area B, we do have increase in producer surplus by area B as well. So what is this area going to show us? Just think about, if initially we had 100 sellers on the market, remember, we kind of assume that each seller selling only one unit. After we increase the price, now we have more sellers selling the product. Let's suppose it's going to be 120 now. So now we actually gain 20 more sellers on the market. You see, so we increase the price of the product. Now we have more sellers actually on the market. Why do we have more sellers on the market? And the answer is because now these sellers can sell. Before, when the price was $10, these 20 sellers, they couldn't sell because their cost of production was somewhere higher than $10. So their cost of production was between 10 and 15. Now, since the price has actually increased of the product, these sellers are saying, oh, my cost of production is only $11. Now I can actually enter the market and start selling. Oh, my cost of production for other seller was actually somewhere like $13. Oh, now I can enter the market and start selling the product. So therefore, just think, we have 20 new sellers. Do you see this is increase? Okay, I'm going to transpose a kind of this line to this little triangle area B because we're trying to explain this area B. And remember, Why did the sellers enter the market? Because the price increased by this $5. So we take this line, transpose it to this triangle. So therefore, this area B is going to represent increase in producer surplus due to new sellers entering the market. So once again, because we have new sellers on the market, because now for these 20 new sellers, their cost of production is lower than the new ongoing price on the market. They're telling, oh, I can start selling. So this is 20 sellers. I transpose this line over here, over this triangle. Once again, we increase the price for by $5. It's exactly corresponds to this line. So therefore, area B increase in producer surplus due to new sellers entering the market. Entering the market. That's what you need to know for this video.